There's something in the air that no one can fully explain. It's as if time is dissolving before our eyes, as if the hours are running aimlessly, and certainties are vanishing like smoke. Do you feel it too? The sensation that something much bigger is about to happen, that the known world is crumbling not only outside but also inside each of us. It's no coincidence. The cycle is closing, and with it, everything built on illusions, fears, and deceptions begins to crumble. The souls who hear this call, even without understanding its words, feel the pulse of a new rhythm, the premonition that humanity is facing a point of no return. What many call the end is, in fact, the turning point of a great cosmic cycle. Ancient prophecies spoke of eras, and now we have reached the twilight of one of them, the end of the fifth race. What does this mean? It means that the type of consciousness that has sustained our way of existing, based on separation, power, and the dominion over matter, has reached the limit of its own energy. It is exhausted, and just as a tree needs to lose its leaves to bloom again, humanity is being invited to traverse the cold of spiritual winter to prepare for a new dawn. But beware, not everyone will move forward. Only those who can remember what they truly are, beyond the flesh, beyond the mind, beyond fear, will be able to take the next step. The whole world is changing, and few understand the depth of this transformation. It's not about economics, politics, or technology. It's about the very essence of being human. The vibration of the planet rises like a silent melody that some hear in their hearts and others completely ignore. This cosmic sound announces the end of what we call the fifth race, the era of humanity that experienced the power of the mind and mastery over matter, but also lost itself in the shadows of its own creations. We are living through the final gasp of this era, the moment when everything seems confused, but it is only the dissolution of old forms that can no longer sustain what comes next. Have you ever noticed how time seems different? The days go by, and at the same time it feels like we're living several lives in one. Emotions are more intense, connections more fragile, and a feeling of emptiness grows even amidst abundance. These are signs of the end of a cycle. The Earth's vibration is accelerating, and those who don't keep up with this frequency feel lost, tired, disconnected. The soul knows that something bigger is happening, even if the mind can't explain it. It's as if we're being pushed to look inward, to remember a truth we forgot long ago. The fifth race was marked by the pursuit of knowledge and the conquest of the physical world. It was a time of glory, empires, technology, and progress. But it was also a time of disconnection from the sacred, of separation between man and earth, between heart and spirit. This era taught us about the power of creation, but also about the dangers of arrogance. We reached the limit of material experience. Expansion without balance generated imbalance, and imbalance calls for restoration. Therefore, structures that seemed unshakable are beginning to crumble, not as punishment, but as a natural necessity for renewal. It's curious to observe that, while the external world crumbles, something new begins to be born in the silence of the invisible. It's as if, beneath the apparent chaos, ancient seeds are awakening. Seeds of consciousness, of remembrance, of true love. They germinate in simple hearts, in souls weary of fighting against the flow of life. The final breath of the fifth race is not destruction, but a birth, a collective birth, painful, confusing, but inevitable. And like all births, it requires surrender, patience, and faith. Therefore, this is the time to observe with the eyes of an eagle and the heart of a child, to see beyond appearances, to hear what the silence wants to say. What is dying is not the world, it is only the old way of perceiving it. Those who open themselves to feel this truth realize that, even amidst the chaos, there is a sacred harmony guiding every step. The fifth race has fulfilled its purpose, and now the veil begins to lift. The question that echoes is simple, yet profound. Are you prepared for what comes next? Before the humanity we know today, there were other forms of consciousness, other expressions of the same divine principle experiencing itself through matter. These ancient races are not merely legends. They are forgotten chapters in the great cosmic history of the soul. Each brought to the world a specific vibration, an essential lesson that served as a foundation for what would come after. The first was pure and luminous, inhabiting energy even before knowing the body. The second learned to mold form and experience the pleasure of creation. The third discovered the power of will, and the fourth delved deeply into duality, experiencing conflict and choice. The farm Us received the gift of mind, reasoning, the capacity to transform the world through idea. But along with this gift came forgetfulness. Forgetting was not punishment, but a necessity. For the experience to be complete, the soul needed to distance itself from the memory of the whole and believe it was alone. It needed to walk through the shadows to understand the value of light. Thus, the fifth race built empires and religions, technologies and borders, believing it dominated the universe, when in reality it was only distancing itself from its essence. Ancient civilizations knew this, and that is why they left signs. Pyramids pointing to the sky, texts engraved in stone, chants that speak of stars. They were not only trying to record the past, but to warn the future. Everything returns. Everything has a cycle. And when the cycle closes, man will have to remember who he is. These memories are not only in lost books, but engraved in every cell of our body. There are moments when, faced with a landscape, a sound, or a profound silence, we feel something familiar that does not belong to this life. It is the memory of having been here before, in other forms, in other eras. This nostalgia of the soul is the password to awakening. When it arises, it is the sign that the soul is beginning to remember what time has tried to erase. And when the memory awakens, the fear begins to dissolve because we realize that death, the end, and oblivion are only transitory illusions of an eternal consciousness. Now, at this point in the cycle, all these memories converge. The experiences of the ancient races reside within us, demanding integration. It is not about reliving the past, but about recognizing that it lives within us. The fire of the first race, the form of the second, the power of the third, the emotion of the fourth, and the mind of the fifth, all are present, awaiting the command of the heart. The true leap will not come from outside, but from the reunion with this inner heritage. He who remembers the totality of what is will cross the veil without fear, and that is why so many feel they are changing without understanding why. Emotions rise and fall, memories emerge in strange dreams, the body reacts in unknown ways. These are the old layers of consciousness reactivating, adjusting to the new vibration. The soul prepares, matter resists, and the spirit observes in silence. In the encounter between these forces, the new being is born. And only those who accept reconciliation with their cosmic past will be able to move forward when the cycle of the fifth race finally ends. At some point in its journey, humanity forgot the sound of its own origin. The mind, fascinated by the power to create and manipulate, became sovereign, and the spirit was relegated to oblivion. The fall was not an event, but a slow, almost imperceptible process in which the brilliance of the soul was covered by the dense layers of matter. The search for the divine was replaced by the search for dominion. The being came to believe that it was only body, only thought, only individual will. Thus was born the kingdom of separation, where each one tries to fill with possessions the void that only love can heal. This forgetting was necessary, but it came at a price. Humanity strayed from its axis and plunged into wars, ambition, and suffering. The mind, which should have been an instrument, became a prison. And the more man tried to control the world around him, the more he lost control of himself. Cities grew, temples emptied, and the earth began to sicken. The planet's vibration descended, and what was once connection became noise. It was the deepest point of the fall, when man believed he could live disconnected from the whole, when he forgot that everything he does to the earth, he does to himself. But even in the densest darkness, there is a thread of light that never goes out. This thread is the testament to origin, the silent call that echoes within every being, however dormant it may be. It manifests as restlessness, as longing for something that cannot be named. It is the spirit trying to remember the way back. Many mistake it for emptiness, but it is the soul making room for what is to come. The pain of humanity is the birth of consciousness. Every tear, every loss, every collapse is a crack through which the light tries to enter. We are living through the peak of this process. The fall has reached its limit and the weight has become unsustainable. External structures, governments, religions, economies, reflect the internal collapse of collective consciousness. Matter, without the spirit to sustain it, begins to fragment. But this is not the end. It is the point where humanity must decide whether to continue falling or remember to fly. And to fly, it is necessary to release the weight, attachment, fear, pride, the illusion of control. Each soul will be called upon to choose. Those who understand that suffering is not punishment, but an invitation to transformation, will be the first to be freed. The fire of consciousness will reignite wherever the heart allows. Matter will cease to be a prison and will once again become a temple. And man who once believed himself separate will remember that he is part of a larger, invisible, sacred body. This remembrance is the first step towards the crossing. The kingdom of matter is crumbling, and beneath its ruins the spirit awakens, silent but relentless. Not everyone is ready to hear it, but everyone will feel it. The call to awaken doesn't come as a voice, but as a vibration. It manifests in dreams that seem like messages, in encounters that change destinies, in coincidences that repeat themselves until the heart understands. Prepared souls have been hearing it for some time. They are the ones who, even amidst chaos, maintain serenity, who feel an inexplicable force pushing them to seek meaning beyond the visible. They are ancient souls who have now returned to assist in the crossing of the end of the fifth race. They remember, albeit in a fragmented way, that everything that happens is part of a much larger plan. Awakening is not comfortable. It dismantles what is false, breaks masks, reveals truths that the ego fears to face. When the soul awakens, the old world begins to disintegrate. Relationships change, habits break down, paths close without warning. It is the universe removing everything that is not aligned with the new frequency. That is why many feel they are losing everything: job, relationships, purpose, when in reality, they are being liberated. Awakening is the purifying fire that burns away what is not essential so that the true self may emerge. During this process, signs emerge: increased sensitivity, vivid dreams, synchronicities that defy logic. Nature seems to respond more intensely. Animals approach. The body reacts in new ways. All this is part of the expansion of perception. The soul begins to see the invisible, to hear the silence, to recognize the sacred in every detail. It is a reminder of the natural state of being, the one that was forgotten during the mind's dominion. Awakening is the cure for forgetfulness, and once it begins, there is no going back. However, awakening is also a test. It demands courage, surrender, and trust in what is not yet seen. The mind resists, tries to explain, doubts, fights, but the heart knows. And it is in this conflict between reason and intuition that the soul grows. It is in this friction that the old dissolves. He who crosses this inner storm discovers a strength he never imagined he possessed, and he realizes that he was never alone, that subtle presences have always guided him, waiting only for the moment to be heard again. The awakening of prepared souls is the harbinger of change. It is the announcement that the end of the fifth race has already begun to be written in the subtext of time. Each awakened soul illuminates dozens of others, like torches lit in the middle of the night. And when the light is sufficient, the new cycle can be born in its fullness. Awakening is not the destiny of the few, but the choice of all. The difference is that some have already heard the call and are responding now. There is a judgment taking place now, but not the one the ancients feared. No courts, no angels with swords or golden thrones. It is a silent, vibrational, intimate judgment. It occurs within each human being every day with every choice. The criterion is not religion or appearance, it is frequency. The universe does not measure words, it measures vibrations. Every thought, every emotion, every gesture is a note that echoes in the cosmic symphony. And at this moment of the closing of the fifth race, only the souls that resonate with the new melody will be able to advance to the next cycle, not by privilege, but by the natural attunement of the laws that govern the invisible. Many feel this separation without knowing how to explain it. Old friendships dissolve, families drift apart, groups fragment. It's as if an invisible force is reorganizing everything according to each person's vibration. Those who remain trapped in density, in fear, hatred, guilt, feel the weight increase. But those who open themselves to light, compassion, and truth feel relief even amidst the chaos. There is no punishment or reward. There is only consequence. Similar vibration attracts similar vibration, and the universe adjusts. This is the invisible judgment, the mirror of the soul reflected in everything around us. But it's important to understand that this judgment is neither definitive nor cruel. It is, in fact, an opportunity. The universe gives each soul the chance to align itself, to adjust its tone, to remember its own original sound. Every pain that arises, Every challenge that repeats itself is a call to awaken. Nothing happens by chance. What the mind calls a problem, the spirit recognizes as a lesson, and as the lessons are accepted, density dissolves, and the soul rises. The true judgment is internal, an invisible accounting of vibrations that only the heart can understand. Those who resist the call fall into confusion. They seek culprits, create enemies, and sink into distractions. They feel the world crumbling and fail to realize that the collapse is an invitation to a new beginning. Meanwhile, the awakened remain silent, observe, and understand. It's not about being better or worse, but about being at different stages of the same journey. The universe excludes no one. It simply places each person where their energy leads them. And even those who remain in the shadows are learning, even if through slower and more painful paths. The invisible judgment is the great filter of the fifth race. It is the process that will define who will cross the bridge to the new vibration. There are no judges nor imposed salvation. There is choice, awareness, and consequence. Each soul decides with its attitudes and intentions whether it will move forward or remain in repetition. The time for excuses is over. Now what matters is the purity of vibration, the coherence between what is said and what one is. The universe is listening, and the music of the heart will be the passport to the new cycle. Before any soul can cross the portal to the new cycle, purification is necessary, not as an external ritual but as a profound transformation from within. The body, mind, and heart are being called to align with a new frequency. This explains why so many experience strange symptoms: fatigue, confusion, intense emotions, abrupt mood swings. The physical body, shaped by eons of density, needs to learn to sustain the new light. Each cell is adapting, releasing old memories, reprogramming patterns inherited from generations. It is such a deep energetic cleansing process that many mistake it for illness, but it is healing. The mind is also undergoing a detoxification process. For millennia, it believed itself to be the master of being. It fed on fear, control, and doubt. Now, faced with the expansion of consciousness, it needs to learn to surrender. This generates conflict, racing thoughts, insomnia, a feeling that time is slipping away. The mind fears disappearing, but what is truly being dissolved is only the illusion of separation. When the mind is silent, the spirit speaks. And when the spirit speaks, the mind finally finds peace. Mental purification is the return of reason to the service of the heart. The heart, in turn, is the central altar of this transformation. It is the portal between the visible and the invisible, between the human and the divine. However, it carries deep wounds. Centuries of fear, pain, and lack of love have made it rigid and distrustful. Now the new vibration demands that it beat freely again. This is why so many people feel extreme emotions, cry for no apparent reason, or relive forgotten memories. It is the heart making room for the new. The pain that emerges is not punishment, it is liberation. It is the soul cleansing what cannot cross the portal. This process is not the same for everyone. Each soul purifies itself according to what it needs to release. Some go through existential crises, others through losses, others through sudden epiphanies. Each experience is perfect within the greater plan. The important thing is to understand that resistance increases pain, while acceptance accelerates healing. The universe does not want to see suffering, it wants to see surrender. Purification is an act of love, from the Creator for His creation, and from the soul for itself. When the being accepts this love, the cleansing becomes gentle, almost sacred. The body will become light, the mind silent, and the heart radiant. This is the preparation for the new time. There will be no way to cross the portal carrying the weight of the old world. All fear, guilt, or resentment will need to be dissolved. The souls who understand this will be the first to feel the lightness of the new cycle. Purification is the last gift of the fifth race, the chance to free ourselves from everything that has kept us asleep for ages. Those who accept this cleansing with humility will be the first to breathe the air of the new world. The transformation is not just human. The earth itself is undergoing a purification process. It is a living, conscious being that breathes, feels, and renews itself. For millennia, it has sustained the pains of humanity, absorbing the weight of wars, destruction, and dense emotions. Now it too is freeing itself. This is why natural phenomena are intensifying. Storms, tremors, Heat waves and cold spells, changes in winds and tides. These are visible signs that the planet is raising its vibration. What many call catastrophes are, in fact, the Earth's breaths in its healing process. When humanity disconnected from nature, it began to treat it as an object. It forgot that nature is an extension of its own collective body. Every destroyed forest, every polluted river, every wounded animal left a scar not only on the earth but on the human soul. Now Mother Earth is responding, not in vengeance but in balance. She needs to restore her harmony, and this implies releasing what is out of tune. That is why entire regions are changing, climates are transforming, ecosystems are reorganizing. It is planetary intelligence in action, preparing the stage for the new vibration that will come after the end of the fifth race. There is also a more subtle aspect to this process. The Earth is emitting new frequencies, waves that affect the energy field of all beings. Sensitives perceive this as a buzzing, a warmth, a sudden impulse to change their lives. These frequencies awaken what was dormant in humanity's spiritual DNA. They reactivate ancient memories, forgotten gifts, expanded perceptions. It is the planet calling its children back into communion. Those who consciously connect to this energy will feel support, clarity, and strength to navigate the transition period. However, those who resist this new vibration will feel discomfort. The Earth is not punishing, it is vibrating in love. But true love is a force that disintegrates what is false. Therefore, many human structures, political, social, spiritual, are crumbling. They can no longer withstand the frequency of truth. Everything built on lies or ego will be carried away by the winds of change. The planet will no longer tolerate dissonance, and this global purification, although it may seem like destruction, is the harbinger of healing. The destiny of Earth and humanity are one. What happens to it happens to us. When the planet ascends, it carries with it all the souls who choose to vibrate with it. Therefore, this is the moment of reconnection, to touch the ground barefoot, to breathe the air with gratitude, to hear the sound of the wind, and to remember that we are part of all this. The fifth race forgot, but the next will remember. The planet will no longer be just the place where we live. It will be the mirror where we finally recognize the divine that dwells in everything. Ancient presences are moving once more among the veils of the world. Silent, subtle, yet powerful, they observe humanity with the same care as one who watches over a long sleep. They are the ancient guardians, consciousnesses that never abandoned Earth, only withdrew to await the right moment to return. Now, with the end of the fifth race approaching, they begin to manifest, not in flesh, but in vibration, in dreams, in synchronicities that remind us that we have never been alone. They are the witnesses of the cycle, the protectors of purpose, the bearers of original memory. And when the world seems to plunge into darkness, it is they who light the beacon in the invisible. These guardians do not belong to any specific culture or religion. They have existed since before history, before writing, before the divisions that separated humanity from the sacred. Some have called them masters, others spirits, angels, ancestors, or star brothers. But the names matter little. What matters is their presence. They communicate through subtle vibrations that only the pure heart can perceive. Many awakened souls are beginning to feel this approach, a new energy that, at the same time, is strangely familiar. It is the remembrance of pacts made ages ago, of missions undertaken before birth. The return of the guardians is the sign that the great cycle has reached its peak. They do not come to save, but to remind. Their function is not to interfere, but to rekindle the divine spark within each human being. Therefore, their messages are not heard with the ears, but with the soul. They arise as sudden intuitions, as words that arrive at the right time, as coincidences that open paths. Awakening does not happen by imposition, but by resonance. And as more people vibrate at this frequency, the Earth's field rises, becoming capable of sustaining the new frequency. The guardians are catalysts for this elevation, but the real work happens within each of us. However, their presence also causes discomfort. The energy they bring is too pure for what is still trapped in density. When this vibration touches the shadow, everything that is false comes to the surface. That is why many feel anxiety, insomnia, or unexplained emotional crises. It is the clash between the old and the new, the friction between the limited mind and the expanded consciousness. The guardians do not come to punish, but to illuminate. And the light, when it arrives, reveals what was previously hidden. That is why chaos intensifies before harmony, because the darkness needs to be seen before it can be dissolved. The call of the ancient guardians is actually an invitation to remember the commitment each soul made before incarnating in this time, a call to abandon fear, distraction, and forgetfulness, and to assume their rightful place in the transition. They do not walk in front, but alongside, and they whisper silently that true power lies not in destroying the old world, but in sustaining the light as it transforms. Whoever hears this call will feel within themselves an inexplicable certainty that they were never lost, only asleep, and now is the time to truly awaken. Before dawn, there is always the darkest moment of the night. It is at this time that fear intensifies, doubts multiply, and the heart feels like giving up. Humanity is now living through this dark night, the peak of confusion, where everything seems to collapse. Old structures crumble, values are inverted, right and wrong become intertwined. But what seems like chaos is, in fact, a process of purification on a global scale. Just as the individual soul needs to plunge into the shadow to rediscover the light, the collective consciousness also needs to cross its own abyss before being reborn. The world's pain is the birth of a new reality. Many wonder why suffering seems to increase. Why is there so much violence, so much separation, so much hopelessness? The answer is simple and profound. Everything that was hidden is being exposed. The light of the new vibration reveals what darkness has disguised for centuries. Corruption, manipulation, lies, everything comes to light not to punish but to cleanse. What is being undone is not the planet, but the disguise that man created to hide his own shadows. We are being confronted with the truth because only it can set us free. And the truth, though painful, is the balm that heals the spirit. In this chaotic scenario, many feel the urge to flee. They seek distractions, immerse themselves in illusions, try to numb themselves. But none of this works for long. The inner calling is stronger. It pushes each soul to look at what it has avoided for entire lifetimes. It is the moment when the collective soul faces the mirror and doesn't like what it sees. But courage is needed to keep looking, because it is in this gaze that healing happens. The dark night is not punishment. It is a blessing in disguise. It is the chance to cleanse everything that prevents humanity from recognizing the divine that has always been present. In the midst of this process, something extraordinary is happening. Even amidst the chaos, compassion is blossoming. People who never cared for others are now moving to help. Hearts that were closed are opening in the face of collective pain. This is the seed of a new era. The shadow reveals the contrast, and the contrast awakens the light. It's as if humanity's suffering is polishing the diamond of consciousness. And the more darkness tries to dominate, the more light manifests in the hearts of those who chose to love even in the face of fear. The dark night of the collective soul will not last forever. It is merely the prelude to a new dawn. When humanity learns to look at pain without running from it, the veil will be lifted. The world will not be the same, because the human gaze will have changed. The night is necessary for the dawn to be recognized. And when the first ray of the new light touches the earth, all who have remained steadfast will understand. Every tear, every loss, every chaos had a purpose: to prepare the human heart for unconditional love. There comes a moment in every journey when the path forks. It is the moment of choice, the point where no external force can decide for us. Humanity has reached this portal. On one side, the old world, with its illusions, its attachments, and its repetitions. On the other, the new state of consciousness, free, light, and luminous. Each soul is being called to choose which side it wishes to remain on. This choice is not made with words, but with vibration. It is no use saying, "I want to evolve," if the heart still vibrates with fear, ego, and resistance. The portal only opens for those who are in tune with the frequency of truth. The universe is just in its silence. It doesn't force anyone to cross the threshold, but it also doesn't allow anyone to move forward carrying the weight of the past. That's why, in this time, many are being confronted with situations that seem final: broken relationships, losses, farewells. It's the universe asking, do you still need this? Each detachment is a key, each forgiveness, a door that opens. The passage is narrow, not because the new world is limited, but because only what is essential can cross. Ego, pride, fear, all of that is left behind. The journey is not external, it is internal. The portal is not in the sky nor under the earth, but in the heart. It is there that the final judgment takes place. And when the soul decides to trust, something extraordinary happens. The weight disappears. Fear loses its power. The mind quiets down. It is as if an invisible hand guides the being through a corridor of light, where everything that was solid becomes vibration, and everything that was doubt transforms into certainty. This is the true meaning of ascension, not escaping the earth, but rising within it. However, there are those who will choose to remain in the old vibration, not out of malice, but out of a need for learning. They will continue to experience the cycle of density until they are ready to let go. Divine love excludes no one. It only respects the time of each soul, and even those who remain will continue to be guided, supported, and loved. But the veil will begin to close, and the dimensions will move apart. What was once one plane will become two, that of those who ascend and that of those who remain. This vibrational separation has already begun, even though physical eyes cannot see it completely. The portal of choice is the culmination of the fifth race cycle. It is the point where humanity must decide whether it will remain a creature of the mind or a living expression of the spirit. No one can cross for another. Each must take the step with their own feet. But for those who choose love, compassion, and truth, the path will open as never before. The new vibration is already pulsating, awaiting those who dare to answer the call. The time of awakening has ended. Now is the time of crossing. After the last breath of the fifth race, silence will reign for a brief moment. This silence will not be empty, but full, like the moment between thunder and echo, between the beating of the heart and the breath. It is in this sacred interval that the new begins to be born. The sixth race will not come from the sky nor from distant stars, but from the very interior of humanity that dared to purify itself. It will be formed by souls who have learned to live in balance between spirit and matter, reason and love, mind and heart. This new humanity will not seek to dominate the world, but to harmonize with it. And when this happens, the entire planet will vibrate at a different frequency. The birth of this new consciousness will be gentle for some and overwhelming for others. The laws of nature will respond differently. Time will seem to flow in another way, and the perception of reality will change completely. The sixth race will not be defined by appearance, nationality, or language, but by vibration. They will be beings capable of feeling the other as part of themselves, of understanding the pain of others as their own, of using thought as an instrument of conscious creation. Empathy will cease to be a virtue and will become a natural state. The earth will once again become a temple, and life a constant prayer. Those who are born or awaken in this vibration will have access to gifts that seemed mythical: intuitive communication, heightened perception, direct understanding of the subtle laws of existence. There will be no need for intermediaries between man and the divine, for the divine will live in every look, in every gesture. Words will lose part of their function because truth will be felt before it is spoken, and time, as we know it, will cease to be linear. The past, present, and future will merge into a single stream of consciousness. Thus will be fulfilled the purpose of the long human journey, to unite heaven and earth within one's own being. However, this birth will require humility. The sixth race will not come to boast of its light, but to heal the wounds left by the fifth. There will still be places of shadow, memories of pain, fragments of the old world that will need compassion. The new humanity will be a gardener, not a warrior. It will plant where it once destroyed, heal where it once wounded, teach without imposing. Strength will no longer lie in conquest, but in serenity. Power will not come from the mind, but from love, and this inversion will be the final proof that the transition has been completed. The sixth race will be the link between the human and the manifested divine. It will be the living bridge between dimensions, the testament that spirit can fully inhabit matter without being lost. Those who are part of it will no longer need to seek God. They will be His very expression in motion, and so the cycle will continue, not as repetition, but as expansion. The end of the fifth race will not be remembered with pain, but with gratitude, for it was suffering, forgetfulness, and the fall that made ascension and light possible. The new world will not be built with the same tools that shaped the old. The keys that will open its doors are within each awakened being, engraved in the soul like codes of light awaiting the right moment to activate. The first key is conscious thought. In the coming age, every thought will be a living seed, What the mind conceives with clarity and the heart sustains with love will become reality. Therefore, the new human being will learn to think with purity, to desire with wisdom, and to create with responsibility. The power of mental creation will cease to be unconscious and will become sacred. The word will once again have the weight of eternity. The second key is the word. During the fifth race, words were used to manipulate, deceive, and divide. Now, their vibration will be restored to its original form, creative sound. Each word will be a beam of energy shaping the reality around it. Therefore, the mouths that once spread fear will learn to speak only what builds up. Lies will no longer find an echo, and truth will be like music resonating on all planes. When the word is spoken with pure intention, it will open portals, heal wounds, and awaken memories. Thus, the ancient teaching will be fulfilled. In the beginning was the Word. The third key is love, but not romantic, conditional, human love, but primordial love, which is the cohesive force of the universe. This love does not judge, does not compare, does not demand. It simply is. It keeps the stars in the firmament and the atoms in their places. It is this energy that will sustain the new world. Those who vibrate in this love will be able to dissolve conflicts, restore balance, heal diseases. Love will be the new divine technology, and those who understand it will master the art of creation effortlessly. The fifth race used intellect to build machines. The sixth will use the heart to move invisible mountains. The fourth key is the union between what we call science and spirit. In the new world, there will be no separation between knowledge and wisdom. Humankind will understand that everything is an expression of the same truth. The energy that moves the galaxies is the same that pulsates in the heart. The study of the invisible will be as natural as that of matter, and learning will cease to be a competition and become revelation. The sixth race will unite calculation and enchantment, reason and faith, and will understand that the universe is a living, expanding mind. Time will cease to be a line and become a spiral, and learning will be eternal. Finally, the fifth key is conscious co-creation. The new human being will understand that there is no fixed destiny. There are potentialities. The future will be woven in real time, according to the collective vibration. Reality will respond instantly to the prevailing vibration. Therefore, the new humanity will become the guardian of its own creation. Nothing will be imposed from the outside. Everything will be built from within. Heaven will not descend to earth. Earth will rise to heaven. And when that happens, the world will cease to be a stage for trials and become a temple of divine experiences. Not everyone will choose to cross the portal. Some will remain in the old vibration, not out of rebellion, but out of a need for learning. These are souls who still need to experience the contrast, understand the lessons of density, heal the remnants of pain accumulated over the ages. They should not be judged or pitied. Each being walks in the time they are able to sustain. Those who remain are not lost. They simply follow another rhythm, another measure within the same universal melody. Compassion will be the bridge between worlds, the thread that will prevent the new humanity from isolating itself in spiritual arrogance. Those who remain will continue living in what's left of the old structure, a world still governed by matter, competition, and fear. But even there, seeds of light will sprout. Because truth does not fade, it is only hidden until the ground is ready. Many of those who have awakened will return spiritually to guide these brothers and sisters, whispering in dreams, inspiring actions, igniting sparks. Love does not abandon, it only changes form. The new vibration will not create borders, but invisible bridges of help and remembrance. Thus, learning will continue, and the cycle of ascension will continue to expand, even among those who still sleep. The testimony of those who remain will be necessary. They will be living mirrors of what was, reminders of what it was like to live without full awareness. They will be like echoes of a bygone era, whose function will be to reinforce the importance of the light. And those who have ascended should not turn their faces away in disdain, but with gratitude. For it was these souls, with their pain and resistance, that allowed the necessary contrast for the awakening of others. The old world existed so that the new could be born. To deny this would be to deny the very history of the soul. Therefore, the awakened will learn a new way to serve. It will no longer be through preaching, but through silent example. The new vibration doesn't need to convince. It's contagious. The sparkle in the eyes of an awakened being will be worth more than 1,000 words. Their presence will be healing. Their silence will be teaching. their love will be a beacon. Thus the worlds will coexist for a time until the rhythm of all aligns again. What today seems like separation will tomorrow be integration, because in the end, all paths return to the same source. And it's certain, no one will remain forever. Even the most resilient souls at some point in eternity will surrender to the light. Love is patient and infinite. It does not give up on any of its creations. Therefore, those who remain are not lost, only in transit. The new world will observe, welcome, and wait, because true awakening is not a privilege, it is an inevitable destiny. Everything that was created will return to its origin, when each being remembers that there was never separation, only different stages of remembrance. We have reached the culminating point of the journey, the cycle of the fifth race, which began with the brilliance of the mind and ended in the silence of the heart, now bids farewell with a reverence to eternity. The ages fold like ancient pages being turned, and the universe awaits the next breath of human consciousness. It is the moment when all that has been learned, forgotten, and rediscovered aligns in a single vibration, the remembrance of who we truly are. The time of forgetting ends, the curtain rises, the final call echoes, soft, deep, irresistible, and those who listen with their hearts know there is no turning back. The portal is open, and the light awaits. Those who have journeyed this far know that the journey has not been easy. It has been years, perhaps lifetimes of purification, loss, disillusionment, searching, and courage. But each step made sense. Each tear was an initiation, each pain a secret password. Now the universe returns to each soul the fruit of its effort. What was shadow becomes wisdom. What was fear transforms into silent power. The new vibration already pulsates in the planet's atmosphere, and a breath of consciousness is enough to perceive it. Everything that once seemed distant now reveals itself so close that it can almost be touched. The boundary between the visible and the invisible is disappearing, and humankind is beginning to remember that it is itself the point where both meet. The final call is not a sound you hear, it's a feeling that overwhelms you. It's a wave of love so intense that it dissolves doubts and calms the mind. It's the Creator's touch reminding the creature that the game is over. But the choice still remains, to stay in the known or surrender to the sacred unknown. Those who choose to trust will see their paths open lightly, as if life itself were conspiring in their favor. Synchronicities will multiply, answers will come before questions, and the heart will become an infallible compass. The entire universe will seem to whisper, "Yes, now is the time," and whoever feels this call should no longer hesitate. It's the invitation to cross over. At this decisive moment, humanity will need to remember what it has always known. The light is not outside, it is within. The great secret has never been a mystery hidden in temples or scriptures, but the simple truth that we are living extensions of divine consciousness. When this remembrance blossoms en masse, the new era will manifest. There will be no need for messiahs or external masters, because the master will have awakened within each being. This is the true purpose of the crossing, not to create a new religion, but to dissolve all separations. The fifth race has fulfilled its function. It has led humanity to the point where it can finally encounter its own origin. And if you listen to this call until the end, it's because your soul has already recognized it. Nothing is by chance. There's something within you that you know belongs to the new vibration, that you feel this is your time to remember, serve, and expand. This is the moment to unite with those who have also chosen to journey consciously, in silence and love. So, if this message resonated within your heart, sign up to continue walking with us, because new revelations are coming, and each encounter will be another step into the light. And to seal this soul pact, write the word in the comments. Eternal light. I want to see how many truly felt the calling and stayed with me until the end. May the brilliance of this word be a reminder that the cycle ends, but awareness never does.